They did not think we would make it to the big 1-7. They say number 17 is the most important episode, and we are here. Welcome to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. I am one of your hosts, John.
And I am your other host, Dante.
We have a big show. We are covering everything from trips we took, events we went to. We got Raw. We got SmackDown. We got AEW Revolution. We got predictions to talk about. We have a lot to discuss. Yes, but first and foremost, Dante, how are you? You've had a week, huh?
I had a week. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very tired right now. It is, 10:30 in the morning right now on Thursday. Just flew back in from Texas yesterday. I was visiting my family down in Houston for a week. A lot of fun. Went to the rodeo they have down there, which is basically like, think of the Big E.
Yeah, I saw your picture of the bull. That shit was crazy.
It was a lot. Like, they do a lot of bull riding. They do this event. I forget what it's called, but they have like children that hold on to sheep, like they hug them, like they're on top of them, and the sheep run wild. And the goal is like who can hold on to them the longest.
So it's like kid bull riding, but it's sheep. They use sheep.
But they're literally on top of it, hugging it, and their sheep are sprinting, and it's who can hold on to it the longest.
Are they wearing like helmets or nothing?
No, nothing. It was hilarious because like whenever they'd fall off, they'd put the camera on. They're like, "Oh, this was Jamie," whatever. Half the time, the kids were bawling their eyes out because they slammed into the ground. But it was fun. It was kind of like a festival, like carnival games, fried food, concerts. I saw Zach Brown Band.
Let's fucking go.
I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Michael Jackson. I don't know if you're
Michael Jackson. You know, he was at the rodeo.
Yeah,
his hologram. Zach Brown Band. They were pretty good live. And yeah, just kind of hung out with my family.
They're like a big band, right? They're huge.
Yeah, they've been around.
I mean, like member wise.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 or 6. There was a good amount of them. There was one lead singer, and then you have a few guitarists, the drums, all that stuff. It was fun. Got to visit family. I mean, that's really the goal.
I saw your cowboy boots. You got the cowboy boots. I
spent a lot of money on cowboy. I had to go full blown rodeo.
Authentic though.
Authentic. I had to go to a real shop. I spent more money.
How much were they? Over under for the cowboy boots. Let's see. Over under 200.
Over.
Okay, so like decently over. Yeah. Over under 400.
Less.
Okay.
Less
all right. Okay.
It's in the middle. And then I got but then I got a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And I got a pair of jeans. So after everything, we're close to 400.
Some authentic Wranglers.
One in Texas, baby. Yeehaw.
You know? That's awesome.
But yeah, great time. Weather was a lot nicer than Boston.
Yes, sir.
A lot warmer. Yeah. But yeah,
I want to go to Texas. I've never been to Texas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very grateful to have family down there that I can go and visit often. So whenever I get the chance to, I do that. But I will tell you what, I'm happy to be home. Yes, I love like going down there and stuff, but once it gets to like the last day or two and you're just anticipating flying home.
I hate traveling.
I
really don't like.
I fly solo all the time, and I hate that.
I know, like it's like a popular thing of like, oh, I love traveling. One of my favorite hobbies is traveling. I kind of hate travel. I love like being at the. I don't even like staying in a hotel. I like I like being home. I wish I could take my home and bring it wherever.
But yeah, dude, flying, I've gotten a lot better at, but the takeoff, dude,
I'm pretty rough at it.
The takeoff.
Yeah,
the landing, no problem. Takeoff, I freak myself out.
If there's turbulence, forget about it. I'm a mess.
If I told you, my first plane ride, turbulence for over 2 hours. It was a 4.5 hour flight, over 2 hours of turbulence, and no Wi-Fi.
Oh,
I wanted to.
How long of a flight is that?
4.5 hours. It was 4.5 hours because also at the end there was some storm, so we had to go around it and then like land wherever. Yeah. So it added another 20 minutes, 30 minutes in the air. And again, no Wi-Fi. I'm there like a jackass trying to connect to the Wi-Fi for hours, like resetting. And they're like, "Oh, it's like we have to reset everything. We'll fix it." And then they said that twice.
Were the TVs at least working?
The TVs were working. Okay, at least. So I had some form of entertainment, but no Wi-Fi. I couldn't text anyone. My cousin was waiting at the airport for an hour and a half because he thought the flight was landing at 7, which it was supposed to. Ended up landing at 7:30, 7:45. Had to get my bag, so he was circling around the airport for an hour and a half, and I couldn't text him and be like, "Hey, heads up, we're taking longer." So it was tough, but
hey, you made it.
Fun, so.
You made it.
How, John? While I was gone, why don't you tell me how your week went,
brother? I went to Monday Night Raw in Boston.
Let's go.
Whoa, what a show. So granted, a lot of this, again, a lot to talk about. I think I want to talk about being at Raw. Like, as we discuss what happened on Raw, I'll talk about it from perspective, obnoxiously, from a perspective of being there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in general, what an experience. I was up in the fucking nosebleeds, brother, where the D-gens sit. That's where you're supposed to be. Get in there, get into TD Garden, go through security. I'm like fumbling with my like ticket on the on the Apple Wallet. Security guard is looking at me, scan my ticket. He goes, "Don't I recognize you from somewhere?" I said, "Probably Stache Club Wrestling." He goes, "I see your stuff on TikTok."
That's
and I
awesome.
Said, "Hey, appreciate it." Walk through. We're going through. Get to my seat, and I got the aisle seat, so I'm stretched out, whatever, and I'm feeling good. Two guys come and sit next to me, and I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be as spread out, whatever. And I'm like, so I'm there alone, and I'm like, the biggest part of it, and what's so fun about it is screaming your head off with the people around you. My section, lame as shit.
Really?
So I'm like, hey, what are you guys' names? Like, and X and Y, whatever. And I'm like, I said, hey, we got a long show ahead of us. I figured we might as well introduce each other. Yeah. They're just sitting there all just like quiet and
just
whatever.
Like watching, not reacting.
Yeah. And I'm like, you don't want to be like, if I'm with, like, if you were there, if I'm with one other person, then we can yell our heads off, whatever.
Oh my God.
I don't want to be just the only one standing up going like, let's fucking go.
Dude, if I was there when John Cena came out, I probably would have ripped my shirt off.
Oh, so
swinging it around.
So as I'm sitting there, some guy walks up and he's like looking at me and he goes, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And I'm like, and immediately he's like, no, sorry, never mind. I thought you were someone else. And he takes like one more step up the step and he goes, "No, like you're from something." He's like, the fucking wood company, right?
Oh God.
And I'm like, but then and then he goes, "Right, Mustache Bros," and like
a little shout out.
You can only correct so many people that it's Stache Club now, which whatever.
The kindness was there.
The kindness was there, and he asked for a picture. Took a picture with the guy.
Oh, dope.
That was cool. And then throughout the night, I'm like on Twitter, kind of like live tweeting it. And my guy Jimmy, I don't know if you see him on Twitter. His name is Jimmy Askins. Jimmy from the Q.
Yeah, I probably have.
He's like a Boston sports kind of personality guy. Big wrestling fan. In his profile picture, he's got a Hook T-shirt.
That's
on.
Awesome. He's your type of guy then.
He also runs Mass Music Radio. Shout out them. So he's in the scene. He's in the know. Yep. Anyway, I see that he's there. So I tweet him. I'm like, bro, I'm here. Da, da, da. He's like, I'm in 304. He's in 305. So he's like directly on the other side.
Okay.
And I'm like, bro, I gotta be. I'm like DMing him at this point. I said, bro, my section's kind of weak, to be honest. He's like, come over here. We got like seats behind us, and all my friends are over there. So about like halfway through the show, maybe like 9:30, I got out of my seat, went over to his section.
That's dope.
Found him, met him for the first time. He was wearing, again, shout out Jimmy. He was dressed as like MJF. He kind of resembles MJF a little bit.
Oh, you posted the
picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's funny.
Sat with him and his friends, and it made the night. Like, and I'm fine with doing stuff on my own, but like that made the night so much better. I'm so glad I moved, because I moved during the Gargano and Finn match, so I got to see and react with like all of them, and with him, John Cena, Edge, Lita,
all the big stuff,
the Jey and Sami stuff.
Yep. That's dope.
I had I had like those like seats next to me, and we were hollering
as you should.
Before I moved, which again, we'll talk about it, section by section, but like, fuck you, Logan chants in my section. I watched some clips afterward, and like, there was a lot they were blanking out on TV, and I was like, that was our fucking section. I was there. But no, it was really.
It makes a world of difference when you're with the crowd like that.
It really, and like even just being in the right section, because then I moved and we're yelling and hollering, getting all emotional with like the Sammy stuff, and
dope.
Really, really cool.
Wish I was there with you, brother. If I was in Texas, I would have been there.
One more shout out too. I want to give a shout out to John. Not me, different John, who was sitting after I moved to this new section. He was sitting behind me, tapped me on the shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, are you from?" I forget if he said Stache Club or Mustache Bros, but he goes, "Hey, I love the videos. Keep it up." He goes, "You want a beer?" And I said, "Brother, I love a beer." He goes, "Bud Light." I said,
why not?
Perfect.
Yeah.
What else?
I said,
my favorite. He comes back, and that's like. because I bought a beer early night. That's a $20 beer. So that's not.
That's how they get you.
Either way, someone at a bar buys you a $5 beer. Thank you so much. Whatever. I mean, this guy John bought me a $20 beer.
Shout out to you, John.
That's real.
That's real. Right
comes
there.
over,
that's real love.
Comes over, hands me the beer, dap him up. I say, hey, thank you so much. Da da da. Jimmy's sitting in front of me, looks behind me, he goes, did you just get a free beer? I'm like, maybe. He goes, bro, you're popping.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Nothing better than a free $20 beer.
Oh my God, it was the best. It was
one of the best beer I had in my life.
It was the best beer I had in my life.
Shout out to you, John. That's dope.
But yeah, I mean, anyone that has an opportunity to go, especially to like a pay-per-view, like this, especially because like I've been to one other Raw, and it was just like, I couldn't tell you what even the main event was. It was just like cookie cutter.
When did you go?
Probably like 4 years ago. So it was when like WWE was like really low. And it was just like nothing really going on. But this one was like, it felt good. Again, and I hate like, I'm a big FOMO person, so I hate to express it, with you not being here. I wish you were there. And also, if you were there, I think we would have been stopped a ton.
I was thinking that as you were telling your story. I'm like, I wonder if because like they see you and it's like, I wonder if
the other guy's not there.
But if it's both of us together, that's when I think it clicks for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think we would have been.
You have to think of other people too that might have seen you but didn't go up to you or anything like that as well.
I think if you were there, we would have. And not to say like, oh, like there should have been more people that said hi, but like, obviously, like, very appreciated and still wild to this day that like people are like, yo, can I get a picture with you? Yeah. Like I was in Newbury Comics the other day, just like looking at like records or whatever, and a kid or a young guy or whatever came up to me and was like, bro, he's like, sorry if this is weird, are you Raspy Taylor? And I took a picture with him.
That's dope.
And it's like,
that's cool getting recognized for that too.
Right, he didn't even know like the wrestling shit. That's really cool. Like he obviously knew it started from Lumberland. But he kept following me and shit. So that's like
cool.
It's we're in a weird time. We're in a weird time, brother.
It's so weird to me when people recognize you in public. Like not this time, but a few months ago, and I was traveling back from Texas. Literally, the guy at TSA. I gave him my ID, and he looks at me. He goes, are you on something? Like, are you on social media or something? I was like, yeah, like I used to be on TikToks and stuff. He goes, the wrestling stuff, right? But it's cool because, obviously we hear like, oh, you're from this company, you're from that show, whatever. But actually hearing them say like, oh, you're from like the wrestling people, like that's what I like to get recognized for.
I think that was the first story because you told me that
after
before.
Stache Club. I think that was like a few weeks after Stache Club started, maybe.
Oh, okay. But I think that was like, either way, that was like, when you told me that, like that was like one of the first times, like, oh, that's the first time that we've broken out of the like, oh, you're like popular on like TikTok.
Yes.
Because like the TikTok with 2 million followers is less of a recognition than your YouTube channel with 30,000 subscribers or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's a different conversation. But like a TikTok, it's like there's different quantities and weights of followers.
There's levels
like,
to
you know
it.
What I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's still something I don't think, not speaking for both of us, but I don't think it's something I'll ever really get used to.
It's wild, man.
Like, I know wild. You. Like I want to pick. Like it's the craziest.
I never know
shit.
how to act. It's like
I don't know.
Then I don't know how to smile in the pictures. Like the pictures I took, I was like, all right, because like you see like rappers and shit take pictures. And well, they're not like cheesing.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
what do you want to do? The DX suck it in the picture or something like that?
I did that with Jimmy.
Did you?
And Jimmy hit, I don't think he posted it, but me and Jimmy hit the. I'll show you it after.
Awesome. That's awesome.
But we have other stuff. I'll be talking about, throughout all the matches, I'll be talking about the live perspective for the whole show.
Sure. But going off that real quick, if you guys do see us in public, like events or whatever, like don't be afraid to come up to us, talk to us. We appreciate all the fans and your support and everything. So don't be afraid to stop and say something, whether it's just one of us, both of us, whatever it is.
And we love Bud Light.
and Bud Light's my favorite beer. I will say at the rodeo, I drank a lot of Bud Light tall boys.
Let's go. Tall cans?
Tall cans.
Yes,
so I had one in my hand and I was like halfway done with it and we're about to go into the show and my cousin goes, all right, let me get you some more. He gets me 2 Bud Lights while I'm still finishing the first one. So I'm holding 3 Bud Lights and we're walking into security and my cousin's like, oh, we might not be able to bring it in. We might have to finish them here. I go, I'm not chugging.
We might have to finish
3
them.
24-ounce Bud Light. I'm going to throw up if I do. Like, I go, beer's fine with me, but like if I drink a lot of it, my stomach, like I feel so bloated. I'm like, I was like, dude, I can't. Thank God I got to bring it in with me, but man, I was crushing Bud Lights this weekend. Shout out Bud Light. Not sponsored.
And then we have AEW Revolution. We're going to talk about the second half of the show, but we have the predictions, baby.
Yeah,
let me just get this here. As per the last quiz, I am the reigning champion.
Yes, you are.
And hate to do it to you, but I am now the owner. I won the predictions.
Yeah, you did.
The guns won it for me. God bless the guns. God bless the guns.
Stupid me for picking Jeff Jarrett to win the title in 2023.
So because of the double down, I got a 10-point cash in, baby. Yeah. And I think maybe we can use.
Some
things just kind of work out, don't they? Sometimes just kind of work out.
Did you think about that before?
No, literally just right now.
That's fucking sweet.
So. Which this leads in. So, all right, a lot of things happening right now.
This is a big podcast.
So, I won the AEW Revolution predictions, blah, blah, blah. So, I can cash in the 10 points.
You have a lot of power right now.
I have a lot of power.
I don't know
powerful.
if you know what to do with all this power.
I don't. I'm never in this position. And then, speaking of this, so I guess this just happened now. I think we're going to use this as our little cash-in thing.
That makes perfect sense, yep.
We got this from our friends at Slump Friends. Shout out them. They also sent us a hoodie. Really cool stuff over there. Go check them out. Shout out Slump Friends. They sent us some decor and stuff too. So shout out them.
To you guys.
And now we have this, which I didn't even think of till now. Perfect.
That's our new Money in the Bank briefcase. The mankind in the bank.
There's something there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that works out perfectly actually. All right, so yeah, congrats, John. Congrats on the predictions. We'll obviously talk about the show later on, but well deserved.
One thing I think is interesting to get into, because I think this is a you topic, and I want to get into this before we give like a show rundown or whatever. WWE is in talks with, I think it's Colorado and one other state.
Michigan.
Oh, you know.
I know it, yeah.
To make gambling on WWE legal.
So I appreciate you for bringing this up because I feel like it's I can now announce I am moving to Colorado or Michigan. No, bro. I mean, so I was reading into it actually, and I guess if that actually happens, there's like because
sports betting is just becoming legal in mass.
It's going to be legal tomorrow.
Really?
It's been at Encore, but tomorrow, like, you can download the app and like do everything virtually.
Wow.
But so since like this stuff happens, they have to seal it. Like they can't. Some wrestlers, they're saying if this happens, wrestlers might not know the result of the match going into it, so things don't leak.
I heard that. Okay. Oh, you know what's funny? I saw that on Twitter, and I saw like. WWE is going to start like experimenting with not telling the wrestlers the results until like
during the match or some shit.
Either
like,
during the match or a couple hours before or whatever.
Yeah, so things don't leak.
I did not make the connection that was because of the gambling shit.
Because if it becomes legal, it's scripted, obviously.
100%,
things leak
right,
and stuff.
Right.
So if they were to do this, they have to do everything in their power so nothing gets leaked, you know? And that being said, if that becomes, you know, like a thing where it's legal in states where it's legal to gamble, like Massachusetts, you fucked up, WWE. You fucked up. I am gonna rob you. I am gonna take. That's all I'm gonna bet on. That's all I'm gonna bet on.
The predictions videos are gonna be a lot more interesting. If we're, you know what I mean?
So I'm putting $25 on MJF winning. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's always been kind of like. I've always thought about it because I think on DraftKings stuff you can like enter a pool where it's like you can like. Mix and match a bunch of
WWE has a
things.
Partnership with DraftKings,
right? And AEW does too. They have the DraftKings thing like in their ring. Like they have like sponsorships. They show it like, not in the ring, but like on the barricade and stuff.
So what do you do for that?
So I think how it is, it's like so. Let's say there's 3 matches and you can choose like, oh, it's gonna end by submission. It's gonna end like this. Blah 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 blah. I guess if you like mix and match everything, you like it's a big pool. It's like a FanDuel thing where you can put in lineups and whoever has the top lineup wins money.
Oh.
So it's kind of like, so let's say there's 10,000 people, only the guy at the top.
Like a fantasy football.
Something like that. So it's like if you had the most points, you win the money or whatever it would
or you
be.
split the pot with everyone else.
But it can be like if 9 people had the same amount of points, you split though however amount it is. I think that's how it is. I've never done it because it was never legal in mass. But
I've legally never done it.
I have legally never done it. But
I have never crossed the border to gamble on wrestling.
I didn't say that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that actually happens. I don't think that would happen for a while. I think that's something that's kind of just they're thinking about it. I think it's going to take a lot for that to go
do you think it's a good idea?
It depends how far it goes. Like if it's something where they legitimately can't tell the wrestlers the result. Like think about it.
That changes.
Like a WrestleMania main event, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Could you imagine them not knowing the result going into that match?
And like, let's say like
Cody like goes in thinking he's winning and halfway through the match, hey, you're losing. Like you know how shitty like that's gonna like you see a live reaction where it's like, hey, you're not winning this match.
And then like I mean, granted they're all professionals and like you know like 90%, if not 100% of the matches, like a champion goes into the match, knows they're going to lose that title. And they still put up that performance of like their entrance, they're like, I'm going to win. And da-da. So like they're all obviously acting and professionals and performers. But let's say, like you just said, let's say it's like a Cody or even like a younger guy who's like hoping to win his first world title. Right. And there's a lot of real life emotion in that. Obviously, we've seen it, you know, Kofi Kingston winning and 100%. Seeing, you know, a ton of people winning their first championship. There's real life emotion in it. And if you get, like you said, get told halfway through a match, hey, you're not winning this belt. I know you thought you were, but Triple H or even Vince now changed their mind halfway through. Right. Sucks to suck, kid. And then, I mean, you know, it depends on how you react, depends on who the performer is. They could start, you know, sandbagging the match, or you know what I mean, like you know, a good example of this would have been Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels.
Right, that's what I was kind of thinking. So it's like going into that match, Shawn might be thinking, "Oh, I'm going to win this." Halfway through the match, that happens.
So this stuff has already happened in history. So it's like, you know,
I think that's when you'd see the you separate the professionals from the, you know what I mean? So
benefit of the doubt, they're all professionals, and you know what I mean.
Exactly, like they shouldn't, you know, throw a fit if something like that happens. So just to close this out, I believe if they do something like this, I don't think it would go as far to not telling the wrestlers. I think it would be like you said, maybe an hour before or something. Like both of them get brought into a room, just Triple H them to be like, this is what's happening. Keep your fucking mouth shut. You could just be like, hey, you leak something.
Well, because there'd be a lot of like NDA. I mean, I'm sure they already have NDAs, but like
So if they get caught leaking things, saying things, then
what could come out too is like, I mean, apparently, like, especially like WrestleMania, I feel like a lot of the wrestlers backstage, especially for big matches, don't get told. They would be cool then. Maybe like you see reactions of like, you know, wrestlers backstage don't know the stuff. So maybe there's also video that comes out like, whoa, I didn't know Cody was going to win. That's a genuine surprise or whatever.
Cool when, like, if you're a younger guy, like you said, going to a match not knowing if he's winning, and then you're told that you're winning the world championship. Yeah, but then it makes it feel more to that.
But then maybe they have a tell and they get told they're winning in the ear, and all of a sudden they're like have the biggest smile on their face, and they're like yes. It's like, oh, I can tell.
The ref's like up to him, hey, you're gonna win.
Yeah, you start changing your bet on the fucking app.
Live bet. We'll see. I don't think that'll happen for a long time, if it even does. So.
I don't know if I like it.
If it changes things as much as we're saying it is, I don't like it either. I like the idea of it because obviously,
because like predictions, how we do it are fun, and it'll be. It's like it's fun to like. It's already fun, and obviously like it's. If you get money involved, it's always just more fun. But it's like at that point, it's like weekly betting on what's going to happen in The Last of Us or Game of Thrones.
Could you imagine
and it's like
betting on like Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano on Monday Night Raw? Oh my god, I'm
screaming.
Dude,
just like
I'm gonna watch Raw, NXT, AEW, and Friday Night
Rampage.
SmackDown. Forget about it. Oh my gosh, I'd have a ball with that, but probably won't happen. We'll see.
Okay. What do you say? What do you say we get into some shows? Again, we are 24 minutes in, or 20 or so minutes in. We're in for a long haul here.
We're in for a long haul.
SmackDown, I kind of want to just brush over real quick. There's mainly like one or two things. A lot of the Bloodline stuff is irrelevant because of what happens on Raw. Yep. But we finally got our face-to-face with Cody and Roman.
Intense.
Really good. Kind of the general theme of it. Cody is saying people doubted him. People didn't think he would recover from Stardust. People didn't think that him and his friends could make their indie show successful. Wink, wink at AEW. Yep. Roman basically says Cody isn't ready. Roman puts down the titles. Basically says, have you ever won that? Have you ever won that? Have you even competed for those? Right.
Yep.
And then the really spot on Dusty Rhodes impression.
Unbelievable. Like really good. Really good. You got it. I'm not even going to act like I can't do it.
I can't do it.
It was pretty good.
He's like, baby, you got it.
You can't teach it. You just got it.
So good.
It was really good. And I love, too, how Cody, too, was like, he told them, "Oh, you have your guys here. Like, you need them." And Roman was just telling him to leave.
Yeah, I thought that was great. Really I thought that was really good
because they're not really involved in this. It's Cody and Roman.
And like the biggest criticism, which I kind of agree with, is like Roman has really yet to defend those titles alone. Like pretty much every single title match. I'm sure there's something.
Right.
There's been
like interferences. There's some funny business. Yeah,
so
I mean that's kind of the trend for heels and stuff like that, especially when he's had the belts for as long as he has. That's kind of, the direction they go down. But I think this match will definitely be a strictly one-on-one. Like Paul Heyman will be there, of course, but he's not gonna, he's not gonna get in there and interfere. But it'll be very interesting to see just that one-on-one, just those two, nothing.
It's gonna be
funny
electric.
business. It's gonna be electric. Phenomenal promos by both of them too.
Really good.
They killed it.
I flip-flop every week on who I think is winning at this point. Dude, I'll be having to change my bet every single week.
I know.
You know what's funny? Little peek behind the curtain. For those that listen to the podcast. So we put up like YouTube shorts or whatever. I have to show you what our two most popular shorts are because it's wicked funny. All right. So at over 260,000, our short that says Cody won't beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Okay. Oh no.
Our third most popular short with 122,000 is Cody Rhodes will beat Roman Reigns. I didn't do that on purpose. It's just like so. Let's see. One was released. Cody won't beat Roman was released February 24th. Cody will beat Roman was released almost a month before on February 5th.
Oh my god.
So like our opinions obviously changed from the 5th to the 24th. But like so funny. I like our two biggest like shorts and successful shorts we ever had is Cody will beat him, Cody won't beat him. It's like,
hey, I mean that's wrestling, baby. You don't know what's gonna happen.
It is so funny. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean last week or 2 weeks ago we were saying, Roman, like, it just seems like he's gonna keep the streak going. But I mean after these I don't know.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know.
I'm genuinely, I think I'm 51-49 Cody right now. But like,
I think that's kind of where I'm at too.
It's so close. That main event is genuinely gonna be incredible because you don't know what's gonna happen. That's crazy.
It's gonna be good.
I mean, we still got a few weeks left. They're gonna keep building it up, but I'm hyped. I'm so hyped for this match.
Some other stuff one other thing on SmackDown we can just brush over. Bobby Lashley takes down Uncle Howdy.
Boo! This storyline sucks.
Whoa! So you're done with it. Okay, we're here. We're here.
Yeah, no, I'm.
Because you've been the one that's held out. You've held out faith.
I've held out faith. I just don't know what's the fucking point of this. What? Like, I don't.
Now
one week he calls out Bray. Uncle Howdy comes out. He Uncle Howdy takes a bump, and there's been no proper build to this. I'm not saying like the match could be fine or whatever. Like I think it could be something, but I'm just still like, why don't we know anything about Uncle Howdy? Where do you come from? What's the purpose behind it? What's the story? You watched it. You heard the clip. The guy, he laughed. That's Bo Dallas. Like we know it's Bo Dallas now. The laugh is identical.
Yeah, even just like the physique of seeing him in the ring.
It's him. Yeah, it's like when is that gonna happen? It's so. He's been around since October. He came back in October, and it's been 5 months now.
And it seems like that's the match we're getting at Mania is Bobby versus
that's gonna happen.
Bray.
It's gonna happen.
Or versus Uncle Howdy. I don't know.
I just don't understand. Like people were saying it could be like a Wyatt 6, like other faction member. Like he brings other people in versus the Hurt Business. But that
we haven't seen any of the characters.
Hurt Business is not happening. Yeah. I guess that's at least for this story. I don't know. I love Bray Wyatt and I love his storytelling and I think it could be so great. I just think this is one of the matches on Mania where it's like they're so focused on other matches that this is kind of like in the back burner.
Bray Wyatt just returned at a real unfortunate time where there's so much other stuff happening where like the real focus and spotlight couldn't be on him. I feel like I don't want to blame everything on the Bloodline story, but just like
it's true though.
It's true.
It is.
If this is all just hearsay and benefit of the doubt, but like I feel like if they had the room, which also it's a 3-hour show, so they kind of do have the room, but like
I still don't know why it's 3 hours.
But like they are focusing on the Bloodline. If there is less focus on this like Bloodline story, which is now like 2 to 3 different stories at this point, maybe you could get a little more I don't know. I don't even really know what I'm saying. Bray Wyatt hype. I don't know.
No, I think because they're so focused on one storyline, all the other stories are kind of taking a back seat. Like, they can still get the time and proper, like, build whatever, but...
Because they're really... Like, what do you have? Judgment Day and Edge, which is like has gone on forever and no one cares about.
They're starting
to
do the damage control, Trish, Lita, Becky thing,
right? But like, what Brock, other real
Seth Logan? I guess. I mean,
Seth Logan is the closest.
That's been doing well because of what they've been doing outside of the ring. Because like during interviews, they're taking jabs. So like they're kind of building it, not on TV. So I'm not giving WWE the benefit of that feud because I think Rollins and Logan are really the two doing it on their own, with no TV. They had their first face-off this past Monday. You know what I mean?
It was again.
It was.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into that.
Woo, Boston did not like Logan.
Boston's an electric crowd. But yeah, I don't know. I still have faith that this whole Bray Wyatt thing is gonna become something. This whole Uncle Howdy thing. Uncle Harper, I believe, was another name that was being thrown in. I believe that stuff will eventually come to fruition and it'll make sense or whatever. But when? I just want it to happen. Maybe post-Mania, when the whole bloodline thing kind of sizzles out a little bit.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not expecting a big Uncle Howdy payoff at Mania.
At Mania, no, I'm not either. But, so, I mean, keep being patient, I guess.
Let's move on to Raw, brother.
Sir. Yes, sir. Your show.
My show. KO defeated Solo. What's nice about this is I can give you some just like how the crowd's feeling, not how the internet's feeling, which people did not like. I don't want to say because it was mostly me. I don't want to throw you under the bus. My Seth Rollins take on his character.
His character? I didn't see the TikTok comments for that one.
People weren't happy. People were not happy, which we'll get into it. I'll defend myself.
Okay.
But anyway. Kevin Owens is a star. Huge pop. He was the first one out, which also, I don't mean to jump around so much, but before they filmed like main event, didn't know Carmelo Hayes is from Boston.
Yeah, he is from Boston, isn't he? I know. I've definitely heard of that.
I didn't know.
I didn't think about.
He got a nice little I was entering the arena as they were doing it, but they announced him as hometown whatever. Cool. Carmelo Hayes. He had a match on main event.
Who'd he face? Do you remember?
I didn't get in there to see it. And then they had Maximum Male Models versus the OC, Marseille, also from Massachusetts.
Yep. Did he get a nice
He
ovation?
Lost. He also
get ovation?
No one knew he was from Boston. They didn't give him any sort of also from Boston.
No one cares about Maximum Male Models either.
It was kind of just like the if you know, you know.
And you knew.
Thing. And I knew. And I knew. I tweeted. I said, put some respect on Marseille. Shout out Brennan. But anyway, sorry. KO defeated Solo. Kevin Owens gets beat down by the Bloodline, or really just Solo and Jimmy. Sami Zayn runs in for the save. Insane pop. He's still doing the hoodie thing. Extends his hand to KO. KO does not accept. Rolls out of the ring. Crowd, boo. Oh, come on, Kevin. Really just what I like about... We also kind of alluded to it. It's like the whole show is the Bloodline story, which is fine. It would be nice to get some other really good storytelling in there, but it is nice to have the start of the show, some Bloodline stuff, and that even kind of tails in and ropes into some meaning all throughout the show.
Yeah, because they did the backstage segments and stuff like that, and obviously when the show ended, that ended. So, yeah, I mean... Again, you can tell what their main focus is right now. The Bloodlines. I don't blame them. There's a reason why the Bloodline story is so good, and it's phenomenal. We're not critiquing it or anything. It's phenomenal because of how much attention is being put on it. And unfortunately, when so much attention gets put on one thing like that, other stories take a backseat, take a bump, which it can be unfortunate, but that's the price you pay when you have one of the best stories told in decades. So that's just kind of the payoff. And like I said, I think post-Mania, when things kind of sizzle out, we'll start to see other stories kind of come to fruition and get more attention. But I mean, that's just how it is. It's good. So I mean, if it wasn't good, I'd complain. But it's good. So
nothing else to come from there. Just again, more storytelling. Then Bianca Belair defeated Carmella. Bianca got a pretty good reception as the champ. She definitely feels more important, which this gets told. This gets said a lot, which I think is truth to it. a live crowd is obviously different than like the Twitter community or whatever. You know what I mean? Bianca, way more over. I mean, she's over on Twitter too, but like really, really, really great reception. She felt like the champion live. Carmella, also a good reception.
I think she's from Massachusetts too.
She's from Long Island.
That's her character. She's from Massachusetts.
She really?
Yeah, I can.
I thought she also. That's crazy.
My cousin told me this. Hold on, because we were watching it together, and he said it. She's from Spencer, Mass. Went to UMass Dartmouth.
She went to UMass Dartmouth.
Yeah, proud alum.
What?
Proud alum. Yeah.
She went to UMass Dartmouth.
And she's from Spencer, Massachusetts.
Well, I don't know where Spencer is.
It's not near us. It's kind of like in the eastern side of Mass. I
mean western.
Western, yeah, we're in the eastern part. I get my direction.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, but she's from Staten Island or whatever the fuck, Long Island.
Yeah, she was not credited. I don't think most people know that. That is insane.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Wow,
crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Match was fine. Good match. Nothing really notable. Big thing though, Asuka. Asuka's music hit.
I love Asuka,
bro. I said, that's my goat. I'm yelling.
That's dope.
Does the blue mist on what's her face, Chelsea Green, or I forget if Carmella or Green took it. Whatever.
Oh wow, hold on. I'm sorry. Spencer's actually a lot closer than I thought it was. It's
near
not
Worcester.
Far from Worcester. Yeah, it's like central Mass.
Spencer, man. It's definitely like a small town, probably. I would imagine.
Yeah, it's kind of just like in the mix there. Yeah,
interesting.
I think they have Spencer Fair. They have something in Spencer that is popular once a year. I think it's a fair. But anyways.
Wild.
Yeah, super crazy.
Highlight of that was Asuka's pop. I mean, Asuka felt like a star. Really cool stare
She's
down.
She's got to win at WrestleMania, right?
She's got to win. She looks like, even just like the fit. She just feels like the Empress. Like, I know she's not doing the Empress character, but like, you know what I mean? She just feels important. Yeah. She feels big.
As she should. As she should.
Logan Paul and Seth Rollins face off. Brother, I have a lot to say. I'm sure you do as well, just about this overall. Let's touch on what happened, and then we can kind of go in to some other stuff.
That crowd loved Seth. That crowd loved Seth.
Bro, we sang that theme for like 5 minutes.
Did you see real quick AEW Revolution? Moxley hit a stomp, and then the crowd started singing.
I didn't pick up
Rollins'
on that.
Theme song.
I didn't pick up on that. Interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's really cool.
But yeah, going back to this, dude, me and my cousin are watching this.
Over.
Me and my 31-year-old cousin are watching this. Like, he has a 4-year-old. My 4-year-old cousin, he's starting to get into it. He wants to watch it and stuff. My cousin was huge in wrestling growing up. Like, he's one of the guys that got me into it. And he was just like, "This is sick." Like, that was so like. Even like Logan was trying to talk over him, and they just kept going. And then Seth was like,
brother.
How could you not?
And there's kids in the crowd doing this shit.
That's awesome.
We are screaming that shit. Logan tried, and like you could tell, because like Seth had to like start talking, because like after 5 minutes, I think they could tell like, okay, we have to
speed things up here.
So Seth kind of started talking or whatever.
But you guys could have kept going.
We were going for a while, and tons of "fuck you, Logan."
Fair.
I love just ignoring the fact there's kids around us and just like,
hey,
fuck.
Yeah, you know where you're bringing your kid.
There. You're there.
Know where you're bringing them.
"Fuck you, Logan" chants, and like, you could tell they heard him. You could tell they heard him. So I guess this is easy to get into my defense now. We'll kind of talk about what else happened. But so Seth is over. Seth is one of the most probably under Roman with Cody.
I think he's the most valuable member of the WWE roster, personally.
Yeah,
you can throw him in anything.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
He'll kill anything.
I can and do agree with that. Even in that like clip, and like talking about Seth last week, like obviously got clipped out because you're making a 30-second clip for TikTok. But yeah, I mean, I'm obviously a huge Seth Rollins fan. I think he's one of the greatest. Like that's my fucking GOAT. But my being there live, my opinion on his character swayed a little bit.
Okay.
Not much. I still don't love the character. But mostly I got a lot of clap back for critiquing his character and say they need to drop it. Granted, maybe a little hyperbolic for the sake of a podcast and a TikTok.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it gets a lot of views.
It's our job, brother.
It's our job.
But I still agree with what I said to an extent. I still don't love the character. But did you notice how when he was doing the promo with Seth, when he got serious with Seth and said, "We don't want you in this business. You're a joke. You're a coward."
Serious with Logan.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah,
when Seth got serious with Logan and said, "We don't want you in this business. You're a coward. You know, this, that, and the other." That was one of the best promos that Seth has had in, I don't want to say anything crazy, but a long time.
His Roman feud, probably,
a long time. Did you notice how good it was when he dropped the silly character?
Right.
And he still the same character, but he boiled that character down into just the good parts of it, which is like the more Joker, serious, whatever, and less of the silly, cackling, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think there's room for both, but you saw the highlights of it, and you saw when he got serious how better it was than him just being like, you know, haha, we're gonna take a selfie and put on these furry glasses or whatever.
Sure.
But when he got serious, it was like, oh,
intense.
This is fucking it.
So,
you know,
to kind of go off of that, this is what I think. So,
all right, sorry, let me do because I think it's gonna lead into your point.
Yeah,
so,
finish.
I think this might be silly to say. I think Seth is over because of Seth. Seth isn't over because of this character.
Okay.
Which that's a lot of people's, which granted, you know, Seth is the character, so like it might be kind of funny to say, but imagine as good as this character is, imagine if he had a better character. That crowd is still gonna sing that song. Mm-hmm. I don't think the character has so much to do with his success as people are giving credit to.
Okay.
I think it's Seth taking the character, and because Seth is great, running with it and making the best out of it.
That's what he's been doing the last 2-3 years.
100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That tells you how good he is at what he does.
So I don't think inherently the character is good. Mm-hmm. I just think Seth is making it good, which again, you can argue that then makes the character good because he's making good work out of it. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I said, I think Seth Rollins is the most valuable member of the roster, it's because whatever you give him, he takes ball and runs with it, whether he's a heel, a face, playing a Joker character, Monday Night Messiah, whatever it is, he takes ball and
apparently
runs with
this
it.
Character is his idea. Apparently, that's the word, is that this is his idea, it's his pitch, which, my sentiment still stays the same. Whoever, it doesn't matter who created the character.
I'm with you. I think that I love when he's serious. I think that's his best work. Yeah. So just to kind of not compare, but so Roman Reigns, for years, he was the big dog. Mm-hmm. He was the this, the that. When he came back as a tribal chief, he came back as himself. Who we see right now, this is the real Roman Reigns. This is more him.
Right.
Everyone backstage be he's just the most calm, relaxed guy, locker room leader. And then, WWE presents him as, something a little different. Mm-hmm. Now, as a tribal chief, this is who he is in real life, right?
Who he is in real life, and then you turn the dial up to 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what wrestling is.
Exactly. Seth Rollins, I think we're going to start to see him kind of not fade away necessarily from the character he has, but once the whole championship picture starts, belts get split or get off Roman, that's when we're going to start to see the Seth where he's hunting for titles. And he's that serious character. Because that promo that he gave, talking about Logan being an outsider, coward, this and that, not saying that, he meant it, but there probably is some truth to that. Listen, Seth Rollins has been an active wrestler for 15, 20 years. He's been the top guy in WWE, and you have this social media guy come in taking a WrestleMania spot from someone else. From a wrestler's perspective, I understand where you can get upset at Logan just coming in. Granted, I think Logan's phenomenal, so I think it's different between giving a random celebrity a spot versus someone like Logan. I think it's a little different, but that's my opinion there. Anyways, I think we're gonna post-Mania, because I think we've even started to see the characters kind of he's taking it's watered down a little bit. It's starting to water it down. Not as crazy, nothing he's not doing the crazy
I wouldn't laugh
say all the time.
I think maybe not watered down, but it's being more directed. It's being funneled.
That might be a better way. That might be a better way to put it. And I think I just think we're starting to see where he's kind of not leaving that character. He's still going to have it. That theme song is going to, whether he changes his theme song, people are going to be singing that during his
100%.
That's sticking.
Yeah. It's great.
It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I think post-Mania is when we're going to see that. I mean, I feel like he changes characters once every year or a year and a half, really, because in the 4-year span, he was Monday Night Messiah, Visionary, Drip God, and what he is now. It's it's similar, but changing it up.
I think that's what I dislike most about this character is is what's left of Drip God.
Sure,
because there's still a lot of Drip God in this character.
Like the way he dresses.
Exactly. Which like I'm fine. Which I think is kind of what you're saying is I like iterations or parts of this character. And I think, like you said, kind of filtering it down or watering it down into, you can keep the character, keep the flamboyant dressing, the macho man winks, keep all of that. I never said, and I don't think any of that is bad. I might have made fun of the, silly glasses or whatever, but I think that's something in wrestling that we haven't seen in a while is like the flamboyant, loud, colorful, whatever, but keep that, but then you can still have your silly moments and throw Miz out of the ring and say, well, get in there, Mike. Mm-hmm. But then, but now you add this more serious, and most of the time, especially because, like you said, it's going to be more important when he's hunting for titles. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, now the character has evolved into a more serious form of it, and now it's a world champion character that still has these forms of the showmanship and the outlandishness, which I think is fine. I think is great, but it's like it needs to be directed more, which I think is where we got a little. People didn't realize kind of that's what we were more saying,
right? And I think this is kind of going back to the point I was making. I kind of like had this in my head and I kind of skipped over it. So I brought up Roman like this is him now. I think we're gonna start to see Seth being Seth. Like that promo we gave about being coward. If that's how he feels, like that's how he feels. Like in real life, whatever. I think if WWE allows Seth to truly just go out there, give promos where he's himself, say what he wants to say, that's gonna he can, like I said, he goes over. He'll be over for anything he does. But I think if WWE allows him to have that Roman Reigns type of thing where he is himself, turn it up a few notches,
right?
That's the perfect character for him. Like out of all the characters he had, that could be the best one. Like I think right now, and it's crazy to think because he's been in WWE for 10 plus years now, debuted in late 2012. He's only 36. Wrestlers like Bobby Lashley's 45. Ooh. You could argue, and I know this sounds crazy, you could argue that Seth is hitting his prime right now. Like these next few years could be the best years of his career. Think that's fair. You know what I mean?
I think that's fair to say.
Obviously, if he stays healthy, knock on wood, that we don't want anything like that to happen to any wrestlers. But like if he keeps going the direction he's going, like I understand like the character might not be the best character he's had or whatever, but he is so fucking entertaining, and it's like. I think,
and again, that's the thing. It's like
going off of this, like with the crowd singing along. Like now you have a lot of momentum that you can carry into that next character, where more serious, more himself. Boom, you can. I've talked about him. I want him to have a Roman Reigns type of reign, where it's like it's important. He holds the belt for not 3 years, but he holds the belt for like a year. Like he has a solid reign because he deserves it. That good. He's that good. He deserves it, and I want that more than anything. Yeah. I really do.
And again, I think that speaks to the fact of like you said, he's gonna have the theme carry over. He's gonna have all this other stuff carry over. I think that just even speaks more to the fact of like people aren't singing this song. People aren't popping so loud because he wore silly red boots.
Sure, it's funny. It went popular on social media. Sure, it was trending,
But again, I think him being over is less of the character, more because of Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins. People believe in him. People he's the best in the world. Agree. And they're the WWE universe is embracing the character because Seth is doing the most he can with it, and he's even doing a great job with it. But again, imagine how much better it's gonna be when that character is evolved more or trickled down just into the best parts of it, and you start getting some of old Seth and some of like little turned up real Seth, and you know what I mean.
So if you clip this part off right here and put it on TikTok, I think you can redeem yourself.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. And just before we move on, I want to say something about this promo really quick. One thing.
We're not done, brother.
Logan needs to get better at his promos because there was one line he said. He goes, "I accomplished more in 1 year than you could have done in 20 years." What was he talking about? What has he accomplished in 1 year, Logan? You beat the Mysterios at Mania. I don't think Seth beat the Mysterios.
Was he talking about just wrestling?
I think so. I thought that that's where he said, "I've accomplished more in 1 year than you have in your career." So in 1 year.
Oh, honestly, the fuck you Logan chance might have been
fair.
Too loud at
so
that
okay,
point.
he beat the Mysterios at Mania with the Miz. I guess Rollins never beat the Mysterios at Mania with the Miz. He beat the Miz at SummerSlam. I don't know if Rollins has beat The Miz at Summer. He's definitely beaten The Miz.
Then
lost to Roman. Seth has main evented WrestleMania, beaten Roman. And now he eliminated Seth from the Royal Rumble, but Seth has won the Royal Rumble. I just didn't understand what that meant. But I can tell, too. I think he was a little rattled by the crowd. I think he was a little. I think he was taken back. I think he was a little like, oh wow, I'm in a bad place, right? Like I'm in enemy territory right now.
He felt like the Yankees.
Oh that's how it felt. Derek Jeter was in the building,
bro.
Baby.
That's how it felt.
A-Rod and Jeter were in the building that night. Yep.
So and to finish the segment off, Logan, Seth throws out the Miz, whatever. Logan takes down Seth. Goes for the stomp, misses the stomp, ends up just kind of clocking him with a right hand. Logan stands tall, says, see you at Mania bitch or whatever. Yeah. I thought this match was I thought this match has been official for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to think that. Yeah, the way they've been going back.
It's like
and forth.
Still not official. Yeah,
they could have made it official. I didn't see anything for it, but yeah, I mean I think it was always kind of expected. But I think the match is going to be great. I really do think it's going to be good.
I think sneaky might be a match of the night.
Depending on what night it is, I think it could be match.
Depending, it's like depending on how Roman and Cody deliver.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
At this point, unless I'm forgetting something, unless there's like a ladder match or something announced or whatever. Other than what. I mean, the Gunther...
whatever Gunther match is.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's going to be between... Right now, how the card stands, the Gunther match, Roman Cody, Seth Logan seem like the three that have like match of the weekend potential. What am I forgetting?
Sleeper, Cena Theory.
I don't think that's going to be anything special. I don't think that's going to be.
It could be Theory's coming out party.
Cena Theory is like kind of talented in the ring.
We'll see. Let's see what the chemistry is like. It could. I'm not saying it will be, but it could.
Dolph Ziggler squashed Omos. We don't got to go over it.
Poor Ziggler.
God, I love Ziggler. The crowd was nuts for Ziggler. I was in the crowd, and I was hyped when Ziggler came out. He got squashed in like a couple seconds, and I was what? I said, that's my goat.
A lot of goats.
I was pissed.
Yeah,
a lot of goats. Everyone's my goat. That's my new saying.
Ziggler is so massively underrated.
So I moved. I don't have much to say about this match because I was like moving. Gargano defeated Finn Balor. Apparently, it was a really good match. I saw a little bit of it, but I was moving and whatever. But during that match, there was a fight in the crowd.
Oh, I saw that.
It was.
See it, but I heard about it.
It was right next to my old section.
No.
So I would have been like right next to it. And we were like seeing it. It was at that point like the WrestleMania sound.
It was on the bleachers?
Yeah, it was up there, dude. We saw security, like 2 security guards carrying the guy by like feet and shoulders. Damn. Like, boom, see you later.
Damn. I wonder what it was about.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people. I was talking to my dad about this. Like a lot of people just like, granted, like we take it seriously to an extent of like we enjoy it, but we realize like, if someone in the crowd says, fuck Rey Mysterio, I'm not going to try to fight that guy.
Yeah.
It's not that deep, which I think a lot of people take it a little seriously where like if someone says Seth Rollins sucks, if someone's a little too drunk, they're going to want to fight him.
You go to a sports game, Celtics Lakers. Lakers are in town. LeBron James sucks. What are you, a Lakers fan? You're at a sports game. I mean, I understand.
And better yet, you're at a WWE show. What are you fighting someone?
Yeah,
for?
what are you going to fight someone because it's an opinion? It's a show. It's a scripted show with characters that you're supposed to cheer and boo and have that reaction towards. Like,
I guarantee you, he's not allowed in the Garden again. I mean, guarantee you.
I wouldn't test my luck trying to get kicked out because of that. That's probably likely. Yeah.
So Gargano defeated Finn Balor. Good win for Gargano. But second biggest pop of the night. You think you know me? Oh my God. Holy, I lost my shit, brother. First person I thought of was you. First person I thought of, I was like, Dante would have lost his mind. Just hearing that theme song hit live. I've never heard that live before.
Really?
Just, you think you know me, and then just like, that's because I'm in my new section, so I'm like yelling with them, like, Edge is here, Edge is here, and he came out of fucking nowhere and helped out, helped out Gargano,
when I went to Survivor Series 08, when I was younger. John Cena returned. He was like out with an injury, beat Chris Jericho for the belt. It was supposed to be Triple H. Talk about a main event. It was supposed to be Triple H versus Vladimir Kozlov versus Jeff Hardy for the WWE belt. Then it set up the storyline. Jeff Hardy got hurt before. It turned into the whole Matt Hardy injured him, whatever. So it was just Triple H, Vladimir Kozlov. Before the match ended, Vicky comes out going, "He's here, he's here," and I was like, shit. "Oh, I'm like 10 years old, 10 years old, and I had the Jeff Hardy arm sleeve. I had a sign that said like Jeff Hardy's winning the championship, and he's here, he's here. All of a sudden, you think you know me? Ooh. Now there's a difference when it happened there. Crowd was crazy for you. When it happened here, everyone was like, "What the fuck? That's not Jeff." And then Jeff ended up coming out and stuff, like hit him with the chair. But Edge ended up winning. But that, bro, goosebumps. Fucking
insane.
I'm so mad I didn't go.
Next one.
I was 10 then. It's 14 years later. I'm 24 years old, and it would have meant more to me now than it would have back then. Oh, so hype. I was so when I saw that, my cousin, I literally was like, Edge is there too. Bro, are you fucking kidding me?
We got
that's an all-star show,
bro. It was an
all-star show.
We got the only person, which granted, because fine, because we got everyone else. Only person we didn't get was Roman.
Sure,
but like we got Edge, Cena, Lita, Trish Stratus, Logan. Trish was there. We heard Trish's music. It was crazy. I mean, we saw Sammy shit. Dude. Cody was there. Didn't wrestle, but Cody was there.
Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable.
The only person I haven't seen live that's like on my like list, Rey Mysterio.
Oh, Rey Mysterio.
I saw Roman versus Rusev Hell in a Cell.
Oh, okay.
I've seen The Undertaker at a house show. Haven't seen John Cena wrestle, but this marked off seeing John Cena live. Sure. Rey Mysterio, other than like I met him when I was like 7 or 9, 8 or whatever. But meet in quotes, but he's the one I need. He's bucket list. I need to see him before. Hopefully, the next pay-per-view that comes along, whatever. Hopefully, there's a Rey Mysterio match and I can see Rey live. But John Cena comes out, brother. I mean, Edge was the number 2 pop. This crowd, bro.
I can't even imagine.
His theme song hit, and I watched a clip out again. I'm in the fucking.
He was emotional. That was the first when he came out. Like immediately, he was just like covering his face, and like I could see like his eyes were getting like water.
I was kind of I have a thing where like I try not to watch the screen, but like for stuff like that or for like promo segments, right?
I agree.
But man, just insane reaction.
And then immediately Theory comes out.
I was pissed.
Didn't even give him a chance to talk. Just immediately came out.
Theory comes out. I'll kind of run down what happened, and we can talk about it. So Theory comes out right away. Says you're basically like you're part of the reason why I'm wrestling. So as my gift to you, I'm gonna offer you a match for my United States Championship at WrestleMania.
Very interesting way of kind of setting up the match. I wasn't expecting that.
It makes sense
because he's supposed to be the heel, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it makes sense
because like a childhood hero, like I want to have a match with you. Like I get that.
I was gonna say it makes more sense than Cena challenging for it, but I don't think it would have been too crazy for John to come out and be like, you know what? I want my United States Championship back. Like that wouldn't have been too crazy. No, so like I don't think
John Cena does at this point. Right, no one's gonna go against it.
But yeah,
that was like my only kind of like.
The only justification, I don't think it came off that well this way, but how I think I would have read it is like, you're my childhood hero, blah, 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 but now I'm so much better than you. So here's a pity match for because I'm going to beat the shit out of you and it's going to be easy.
Fair.
That's how but it didn't come off that way.
Yeah, I can imagine it. That's how it was meant to be perceived.
John Cena basically immediately, nonchalantly goes, no. No, crowd went fucking crazy, which then didn't make sense because we wouldn't see him wrestle.
Right.
Fuck yeah,
we're not seeing John Cena at WrestleMania. Let's fucking go.
He said he's not ready. Nobody cares about him. You don't have it. You don't have it here. Which I think I'm getting the timeline mixed up. Doesn't matter. You don't have it here. Points to his brain. Points to his heart. You don't have it here. And you definitely don't have it here. And he kind of like sack wax him a little bit. Yeah. Was it on? I think it was on. What's a lot of stuff I'm not sure what's on TV and what's not, but then like he's like halfway up the ramp and he's like and especially that third thing, you need a lot more in that third thing.
Yeah, that was on TV.
Basically call his dick small.
Okay, so I'm so happy you said that because when he said that, I didn't really pick up on what he said and I was like, I was like, what was he talking about? And then
I guess he was calling his dick small.
Yeah, he's got a small dick.
And then Theory tries to take... Cena fucking had him on the ropes.
I can't... Apparently, I heard Cena produce the segment. Like, he was in charge of everything. Yeah. So, like, everything that happened was Cena's idea. I love Cena. And I think this was a great job at setting up the match. Because it basically... I
want Cena to kick his ass at Mania. Exactly. Cena better fucking
win. It went from a match that no one really cared about to now people want to see it.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they let him rip into Theory as much as he did, because they made Theory look like a bitch.
So
they made him look like a bitch.
So Theory says, "Oh, like something, you're balding." John Cena takes his hat off, shows the hard cam his bald spot, and he goes, "I'd rather be balding than have them in the back pipe in fake crowd noises because nobody cares about my matches."
What?
Holy shit, bro! Dude. The crowd. Oh, got him.
This was a verbal annihilation. Like, he murdered Austin. Theory had no chance at responding, coming back. There was nothing he could have said or done. Then he was just like, never meet your heroes because they just let you down. And I'm just like, bro, that is such a weak ass response.
And then Cena, by the end of it, Cena kind of asked the crowd, like, let me ask the crowd, do you want to see John Cena wrestle? And like, we were kind of confused. So it was like, well,
yeah,
not really against Theory. Like
we do, like we want to see you. But
it was a weird reaction. But like ultimately, then John Cena accepts the match, says see you at Mania. Another criticism I saw, which I kind of agree with, is like he was saying like if you lose, you won't be able to handle it because then you're back down to square one. You lost to John Cena, you're not gonna be able to recover from it.
True.
If you win, then you have to deal with that, and you have to deal with the Raw after Mania crowd, and you have to deal with like which this didn't make sense to me. You have to deal with like the crowd
just being as extreme as they are, kind of.
Yeah,
like,
which
turning against him.
He would have to anyway. I don't know. I didn't get that part.
I mean, that's why. I mean, John Cena's kind of right. That's why this match is kind of you're taking your risk here. Because I don't think John Cena's winning. We talked about this. I don't think he's winning because he's not a full-time wrestler.
My prediction is I'm going to have Cena winning. I'll tell you this right now.
When we get to the prediction, hey, this could be a Cody Roman thing. It could be 50-50.
Honestly, yeah.
Right?
John Cena's going to win. John Cena isn't going to win.
So I just think he won't win because he's not a full-time wrestler. I don't think he'd be a full-time. That's just my thinking.
Yeah.
But he's right, because it's like if Cena wins, Theory's he squashed. Like,
right.
After losing the Money in the Bank briefcase, all the shit that he went through to lose to Cena at WrestleMania, it like in some cases maybe it could be like, oh, losing to Cena isn't a bad thing. You had a match against Cena, but look what's happened in the past. Bray Wyatt lost to Cena at WrestleMania 30, and that like ruined his run. That ruined his hype and everything. That was the match Bray Wyatt should have won.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to compare the two matches, but if Theory loses, he's done. If Theory wins, the expectations after that are so like he needs to be a star after beating Cena, because that's a match that you get.
That's the elevated.
That's
match.
The elevation match. That's the match that takes you to the next level. So he needs to be prepared for that next level, because beating Cena isn't no joke. Like John Cena's the GOAT to a lot of people. So this would be the biggest one of his career by a mile or two. It's just he needs, and I'm assuming WWE has him prepared for it, and he kind of knows the direction that they're going to be going down if he wins, because John Cena's right. He has to be prepared if he wins that night after, even moving forward. The expectations are going to be sky high for him. And that makes me nervous because I want Theory to do well. I think he has the look. I think he's young. I think he has a lot to build off of. But is he ready? And John Cena was asking. He didn't think he was ready.
I am just still, which I'm open to it. I am just still not sold on Theory. I don't think he has.
I'm not sold on him right now, but I think let's play a fun game. We haven't played in a while. How old is Austin Theory? How old is Austin Theory? I'm going to say 24. 25.
Holy shit.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He is so young.
I didn't know I was older than Theory. I thought he was like, I guess I didn't know how old he was.
He's a year older than me. Yeah, 97. He's not even a year older than me. He's 9 months older than me. He's got so much time. I think he has so much to build off of. Winning a Mania match at 25 against Cena, I think that does a lot. And again, he still has a lot of room to grow. But
see, my reasoning is the opposite. He's so young. He can get his ass kicked for 5 more years, and he at 30 years old, then he's Oh, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Fucking at 25, lose to Cena. See you later.
Yeah, I just think that he's taken the whole Money in the Bank thing, kind of put them in a situation where if they do that again, like where he really gets squashed something, he's really ruined. Because that was bad.
Like you said, the biggest tell is like, what if Cena wins? What's he really gonna do? Here's what I could see. John Cena wins it. He's there on Raw. Open challenge, loses it the next night to like a return to, maybe a Jay White or a Bronson Reed or is it right? Yeah, Bronson Reed or a Carmelo Hayes.
Sure, that's what they did at Mania 32. Zack Ryder won the IC belt in the ladder match, and then the next night Miz beat him. You get that cheap pop, and lose it the next night. Good, that definitely could be a possibility.
You know what I mean?
100%.
All right.
Okay.
Wow. Long pause.
Yeah, we're
sorry. We're like halfway through.
Sorry or you're welcome. I don't know.
Skipping over Gable and Corbin.
Yep. Gable going to singles run soon needs it.
I think you were the one to predict this a week or two ago, or I think coming off last week. We are doing the 3-on-3 Lita, Becky, Trish versus Damage Control with Bayley. Titles just aren't going to be on the line. I'm guessing.
I guess that's what that means. Unless they make an announcement in the upcoming weeks, like, oh, if we win, we get the belts back or something.
Right. At least as of now.
I think that would make sense.
Yeah.
But
overall, fine segment. Again, being there live, it was really fun just to hear Lita and Trish. I didn't know Trish was going to be there, and all of a sudden they brought out Trish, and I was like, dope. Holy shit. Oh, sorry. Also, I want to bounce back. Again, I don't know. I don't think it was on TV, but correct me if I'm wrong. So when Cena left,
brings out Cody Rhodes.
Oh, that was on TV.
All that was on TV.
See, I'm thinking I'm getting something special. All right, whatever.
That was on TV.
Also, so I still want to talk about that cool moment.
Very cool moment.
I'm just, you guys deserve to see a star. Let me bring out a star. Cody's music hits.
It wasn't like a passing of the torch by any means.
No,
but it's kind of like from the greatest of his generation to who could be the next,
even just like they're both like from like our time as kids, so even just seeing them just like reunite and like hug and like seeing John Cena where Cody Rhodes is at now from when he was, and now like we got to see John Cena see 2023 Cody Rhodes.
Exactly, because they've had run-ins in the past, like when Cody was super young, when he was like with Legacy and stuff. I think when Cena was doing his open challenge, I'm pretty sure he had a match with Stardust for the United States belt. That was, I think, the first open match that he may have had after winning the belt. So there's a history there.
Cody tweeted what John Cena said in his ear. He said, I'm gonna get it wrong, but something to the extent of always reward them for the noise. Basically, like the crowd, because like the Cody is on fire. The pop for the crowd.
And you know what's funny? And it's really cool as a wrestling fan hearing this. Like my cousin, who's in his 30s. He keeps up with it and stuff. He's not like an avid watcher. Like he doesn't watch it all the time. He tells me like Cody Rhodes is awesome. Like he just his look. He's a company guy.
I just love the old school nice suit. He's clean. And he just looks good.
And even better, Kevin said the same thing to me. And Kevin doesn't watch wrestling or anything like that. He's like, because he's Cody Rhodes is like a pop culture guy. He's a pop culture guy. He's on doing interviews. He's doing all these podcasts and stuff. He is like, he's presented as the face of the company. He does all the he's so well spoken, so well dressed, just the way he's presented. And again,
the way he carries himself too.
The way he carries himself, like just I'm a big Cody fan. I'm a big fan of him. I really am. And I'm very happy that all this stuff is coming along. Like he's been back for a year now, but it's still like so cool to see where he was going off on his own, doing his thing, upping his value, making a name for himself, and look at him now. Hard work pays off.
I'm curious if he has like any because he was a founding member of AEW. I'm curious if he has any stock or
he was an executive. He's no longer an executive.
Okay.
You could be. So I don't think it works like that because AEW isn't a public traded like WWE is. So like Vince McMahon has 80% of the stock. AEW isn't a public company like that. So there's no stock in it.
But even because he's like a part
there
founder,
could be something where he gets a 15%. Sure, it could be something like that. I'm not sure.
I doubt WWE would have been happy if.
I don't think he does. Yeah. I know he was him, Omega, and the Bucks were all executives.
Right.
He's no longer an executive, obviously. So
he probably gave up all.
He had to probably give it up.
But anyway, I mean, Lita, Becky, Trish. I don't have much to say about it. Gonna be a fun match. Yeah. Everyone in this match is talented.
Yeah. I'll definitely be looking forward to it.
Yeah.
100%.
Really cool to see where Dakota Kai came from getting released a year ago.
Yeah.
To now to now in a marquee WrestleMania match with Lita,
two of the best of all time.
Trish, Becky,
you could say 4 of the best of all time.
Right.
Really?
5 of the best of all time.
Io Sky, one of the best
Sky
in NXT,
is amazing.
100%.
Yeah, just I don't know, fun match, a lot of star power here, but just a good WrestleMania match.
I think it'll be a good match.
Okay. Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso. Oof. Again, quick rundown. We'll talk about it. Crowd wicked behind Sami. Really fun match. They went for like 20 to 25 minutes. Really, really good. Jey Uso comes through the crowd, stands on the table, and Jimmy gets distracted. Sami basically hits him with a roll-up. Sami wins. Crowd goes crazy. Oh, we didn't think Sami was going to win. This is nuts. Blah, blah, blah. Then Jey gets in the ring, and it's all emotional. I mean, give Jey the fucking Oscar.
Yeah.
Is like tugging on Jimmy's shirt.
Unbelievable.
Basically just like heartbroken that like telling him with no words that like it's breaking my heart to leave my brother. I don't want to do this. Don't make me do this. Come with me. Just so much being told in his eyes and just, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And leaves the ring, stands next to Sami, still contemplating, hugs Sami. Crowd went fucking nuts. Holy shit. Whoa! Let's go, Jey! Let's main event fucking Jey! Da-da-da! Jimmy is on his knees, and now we're thinking, okay, Jey chose his side. And then I'm like celebrating, I'm high-fiving the people next to me, and then I see on the Titantron, Jey super kicks Sami out of nowhere. Sami sells it like fucking death.
He sells the super kicks very well.
Jimmy is, you think I'd choose you over them? This is family shit.
Yeah, you would swear I love that.
Tosses him back in the ring. Gets beat down.
Cody comes out.
Cody Rhodes comes out for the save, which again, fun use of Cody. You know, we didn't see him wrestle. We saw him twice that night. Yep. Again, big pop for Cody. Nothing else really happened off TV. It just kind of, everyone kind of dispersed. But, whoa. What a segment. What a segment, brother.
They had to pull that off soon. Because,
holy
again,
shit.
Mania's in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to do the tag match. Like, yeah, it makes sense.
Going to do the tag match.
I'm heartbroken.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that was just the way. I mean, the tag team match, Owens, Sami versus Usos, has kind of been the rumored match and stuff. I'm still in the boat. Like, Jey Uso's back with the bloodline. It's still going to lead to a rift. Him and Roman,
right? Because him and Rogan are still,
they're not on the same page. There's still a lot going on there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Paul Heyman as well. So that's going to happen at some point, I believe. I don't know if you caught this.
Talk to me.
So at the end of the show, Cody came out, saved Sami, right? Mm-hmm. So it's him and Sami. During the show, there was a backstage interview, whatever. And as of since Triple H has taken over, he's been doing these little things where it's like people are talking in the background, something is happening.
I saw it on Twitter, but go on.
So Cody Rhodes was talking to Kevin Owens behind the scenes, and Kevin's just kind of being like, kind of being like, no, like just like against what Cody was saying. Cody was like pleading with him. I think Cody is just like building an army. You two, you take out the Usos. I got Roman. I think that's that's how I think Cody's going to be the one to bring Sami and Kevin back together.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like because it ties in the entire blood. Like Cody is still focused on Roman, but he's like, I want just Roman. You two deal with the rest.
And it's a thing. It ties in because up until like now, really, there hasn't been any Cody Sami tie-in, which Sami has been arguably the biggest part of the bloodline story. So it's like, I think important and a smart way to like still rope Sami and Kevin in with, they're still connected to Cody now, and that's still connected to Roman. So it's like a good way to,
because now Sami's goal is to destroy the bloodline. Like at first it was to beat Roman. Now he just wants everyone to lose. And if that's helping Cody beat Roman and helping him out in any way he can, he's going to do that. So yeah, I think it was a great development in that story.
It felt like a pay-per-view ending. Like, dude, it felt fucking crazy. Again, I wish you were there, brother. I wish you were there.
This Raw felt like a pay-per-view.
It was a good Raw, bro. It was.
When you're in Boston, you gotta deliver. Boston's one of the best crowds. And I'm not saying that because we're from Boston. Boston is one of the best crowds.
Whenever they come to Boston, it's a good show. And even again, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Moxley debuted in AEW in Boston. I could be wrong.
Let's see.
Figure it out. Let's see if I'm wrong. But again, I got nothing else off the top of my head. But like whenever they're in Boston and I like watch it on TV and I'm just like, oh man, I wish I went because like someone either debuts or returns or there's a big match or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, Boston always has a good show, and they're in Providence for Raw.
It was in Vegas
on Monday. Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, never mind. Something with Mox happened in Boston. Something with Mox happened in Boston. I don't know what it was.
No, I believe
maybe it was a return.
No, that was on my birthday.
But either way, I guess I'm wrong.
Okay,
on that. Yeah, crazy fucking show.
Oh,
but
God, I'm jealous.
And also they didn't. Usually they announce like at least like in the arena, like the next time in Boston it's gonna be blah blah blah. Sure. No announcement. I don't know what's gonna.
I
hope it's a pay-per-view.
Admittedly, I did look at Providence tickets. It's only an hour away.
I'm really, not bro. If you want to go,
I'll definitely think about it. I'm gonna see how this next not only a few days. The month of March and April are gonna be like
busy boy,
dude. So
busy boy. I'm going to a comedy show later tonight too. I got.
What are you seeing?
It's this podcast. It's called Podcast But Outside. It's like a live podcast, cool. Like comedy show, whatever.
Nice.
But neither here nor there.
I have a bachelor party this weekend. I have to drive 2 hours to Connecticut.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were doing that.
We're not staying over. We're not getting an Airbnb, so I have to drive all the way back.
That's crazy.
I'm going with Kevin, so we're gonna.
Why are you and Kevin just get an Airbnb or something?
When neither one of us want to stay over.
Okay,
I'd rather go home in my own bed.
Fair.
But that's this weekend. The weekend after St. Patrick's Day parade, all that shit. I'm getting hammered. If you see me in Boston, St. Patrick's Day, come up and say hi.
I'm not doing none of that shit.
I'm gonna get so drunk next.
I think I've done one St. Patrick's Boston thing, and I was like, I haven't. I've never gone. It's just drunk 16-year-old. They're
gonna be a drunk 24-year-old there too. Let me tell you something. I've never been to a St. Patrick's.
All it is, you hop on the tee and you just see 16-year-olds putting nips back on the tee.
That's all I'm gonna do. Dude, I thought about this last. I'm gonna have a sleeve of nips. I'm gonna have it with me. I'm just gonna down them on the way there. Week after,
let me know. Maybe I'll come.
I will.
Let me know.
Sophie's.
Is it like a thing? Is it like a bar crawl? I'm not doing a bar crawl.
No, we're not doing
Thank fucking
That's
God.
on a Saturday. We're not doing that. Week after, I think that's the week after. I think might be my only free weekend. Week after that, WrestleMania, Saturday and Sunday. Week after that, wedding. The next few, I'm exhausted.
And we can kind of confirm we're streaming for Mania.
We will be streaming
for Mania both nights, baby.
Night 1 and night 2, me and John will be streaming. So look forward to that
on the Stache Club channel. So Dante's here, so it's not a solo.
Not on
stream.
Raspy Taylor. It's going to be on Stache Club.
But shout out everyone that was in the Revolution stream. Speaking of, brother, we have AEW Revolution to cover.
We got a lot to talk about.
For a show that had
not too much
little
build
to no build.
Mm-hmm.
Really solid show. A lot of this I want to go over pretty not fast. I mean, like I'm in for the long haul. I'm not trying to rush through
and
this.
I wanted to give a heads up as well. John obviously live streamed it. You watched it. I was in Yeehaw, Texas, at the rodeo, so I didn't get a chance to see every match. I know what happens, and I saw a good chunk of the MJF Danielson match. I didn't get a chance to actually watch the other full matches, which I plan on getting to. But
fun. It was a fun stream. We were like, the final match happened, and it like dawned on me that it's like a minimum of 60 minutes.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh fuck, buckle up.
Yeah,
buckle the fuck up. But
okay.
Ricky Starks tweeted, Chris Jericho, the Ricky Starks shirt has been ordered. It's in the mail.
Is it in the mail?
They didn't ship it yet, but it's been ordered.
I was going to ask you if you got it. Let's go.
I also didn't realize it's a print on demand, so I'm going to get that shirt in like 2 months.
So I'm not, it's coming.
It's coming. It's on the way. Cool. Again, not much to say about it. Ricky needed the win. Now they're going their separate ways.
I think afterwards he said, he thinks he's ready to go for the championship. Like he wants to be the champion.
I mean, we're not going to talk about this past week's Dynamite, but Juice Robinson came out and attacked Ricky. Yeah. Looks like setting up that feud or something.
Ricky, I don't know if you're familiar with Juice Robinson, but he's pretty dope.
Yeah, I know of him just from his slight AEW stuff and seeing his Bullet Club stuff in Japan.
He was one of like the OG NXT guys when they started like the development brand. Yeah, I believe so. I want to double check that, but like back in like 20.
You know that sounds
you know
familiar.
why? Because he hold on. Yeah, so he was CJ Parker.
What?
That was his name. So when Kevin Owens debuted, he faced Juice Robinson, and Juice Robinson broke his nose or whatever. He slapped him and like broke his nose completely. From 2011 to 2015, he worked for WWE, wrestled for FCW and NXT under the name CJ Parker. He won the FCW Tag Team Championship, and then he left WWE and became IWGP, this and that.
Sure.
He was much better off after. But yeah, he started in NXT.
Crazy. Jungle Boy defeated Christian Cage in a final burial match, which was news to me, was a casket match, a buried alive match.
Oh, interesting.
Basically.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see this match, so.
Fun match. Christian came out in a sleeveless turtleneck.
I did see that. It seems like he's not. He's covering up his old body.
Good match. I'm just everyone's kind of over this feud.
Did Christian Cage actually put on a good performance? Was he still?
It was a good match. Oh yeah, he is for sure. He is. Cool. He's to the same level as how like Edge is in the ring right now.
Only
they're both good.
The last few months he's been hurt and he's just kind of like been, if he's in a match, like I remember that he had a Jungle Boy match and he just like squashed him because Luchasaurus came out, did his thing, and he just pinned him.
Yeah, no, looked solid.
Cool.
Jungle Boy got the win, threw him in the. I mean, just honestly, just cool to see. It's been so long since we've seen we see gimmick matches all the time, but this is the buried alive casket match, whatever, is a gimmick match with the dirt and the theatrics, and it was just
seen that in a while.
Right, it was just kind of refreshing to see it. Jungle Boy tossed him in, and he tossed him in. He shut the lid, and the shit dropped into the hole. It was crazy.
Damn.
Cool. Jungle Boy needed the win. Awesome.
Yeah, good one.
You have to watch what
this match.
You have to watch this match.
I think I do too.
The House of Black defeated the Elite to become the Trios champions. Holy shit, what a match. This was my favorite trio. It beat I think it beat any of the Lucha Brothers.
Best of 7.
Yeah. What a fucking match. The House of Black looked phenomenal. Oh my god. And now on Dynamite, they set up
the triple threat.
House of Black versus the Elite versus Jericho Appreciation Society. The House of Black is on a roll. Malachi looks great. Buddy and Kenny look great. I mean, Kenny Omega looked best he's ever been.
Yep.
Really, really good match.
I'm happy House of Black won. I'm not. I love them. I think that they should have been Trios champs. My opinion from the beginning. I'm just nervous that because the Trios belt got introduced less than a year ago. I think it was like last summer or whatever. They've kind of already been, switching them around a little bit and stuff. I just really hope that's not what it turns into.
See,
like House of Black, they're the champs. They won. Awesome. I want them to have a solid 6-month reign with the belts.
When you see how good this match is, I think that thought will be out the window of okay, they fucking deserve it.
Yeah.
So if it was like a mediocre match and it's okay, they're just flip flopping it, but it was House of Black
it meant something
for these fucking titles.
No, I do believe that. I have to check out the match. That's my only worry because I know how AEW is with the TNT title. We can probably talk about that later, but yeah.
Jamie Hayter defeated Ruby Soho and Saraya. Solid match again. A lot of these mid-card matches that were leading up to the main event were just good matches. There was nothing
spectacular
other than the trios match. It was nothing spectacular. Highlight of it was at the end of it, Ruby Soho kind of takes out everyone, but ends up siding with the WWE faction of Toni Storm and Saraya. And then she had a promo on AEW that was really good, and basically said I'm the reason, or you guys are the reason why I'm this, blah blah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would have preferred her to go a little lone wolf style. I thought that's what she was going with. Sure. Didn't end up happening. And then they did the spray paint thing, which never fucking works, and I think they got to drop it. But saw a match. Jamie Hayter keeping up her reign.
I'm happy she's still champ. For
it
sure.
makes sense because you've said it since day one. They're gonna lead up to the Britt Baker Jamie match.
That's what it seems.
So why take it off Jamie? Now they're doing,
I'm sure they'll do Jamie versus Ruby, maybe 1-on-1 now, whatever. I'm not opposed to it. You have a little stable going on there. I do agree the spray paint's a little stupid.
It just doesn't work. It's just like you can't see the L.
You're supposed to try to do like an NWO thing, but it's like the black paint, like you can see that more. The green, it's not really, you can't really decipher it.
Brother, this is another match you have to watch.
I'm gonna like probably tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna go back and watch a lot of these matches.
If anyone out there wasn't a fan of Hangman Adam Page before, holy shit, Hangman Adam Page defeats Jon Moxley in a Texas death match in probably, and I know there's like the New Jack style stuff, but like one of the most brutal just matches I've ever seen. Some quick notes here. They used barbed wire. They used chains. They used a fork.
I saw him stab it. Yeah.
They used bricks. They used just
the stomp on the brick.
The
right?
sandwich is hit. Bro, bricks,
dude. I saw like his head like hit it.
Oh yeah, he did. They did do that too. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I think maybe one of my favorite wrestling spots of all time. Hangman Adam Page wraps his own body in barbed wire and hits a moonsault to the outside of the ring. Wrapped in barbed wire. Are you insane?
I love spots like that because it's like, you know, that hurts the person delivering it more than the person that
he was like. I think he got cut up. Like,
yeah, of course he did. Of course, like Lashley or whatever. Cody Rhodes did a spot with who was it? Maybe it was Andrade. I forget.
The fire match.
Yeah, and he's the only one. He's the only one that went through the tape. He's the one that did the move, and he's the one that got burned.
From the jump, his back was all sprayed.
Yeah,
with like
it was like he's the only one that got hurt from that. His opponent didn't feel jack.
They were scraping each other's backs with the barbed wire. Like I said, the brick sandwich. Moxley did end up tapping out to Hangman with like Hangman was
they tapped out.
So Hangman was trying to hang. Moxley, he had the chain wrapped around his neck and like over the rope or whatever, and just basically.
Oh, that's where he tapped out too?
Yeah, he tapped out. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I know that was the finish.
Holy shit. Insane.
And what's crazy to me is that Moxley wrestled again last night. What the fuck?
Yeah.
We keep talking about Moxley going on breaks.
I don't know.
I think this guy is
just a fable at this point. I don't know.
I think this dude like just doesn't want to be away from getting hurt.
And he loves
He's
pain.
addicted to bleeding. He's addicted to violence. He's addicted to bricks now. He's addicted. God bless his wife. She must be watching these matches, wondering if he's gonna die.
I was in awe of this. I mean, holy shit! Just really, really good. I think one of the best of this style of matches. Which I think like it's not for everyone. You know, you could argue the blood or the violence is over the top, but I'm not one of those people. But just fun, just good match, brutal match. I mean, like for the story of just like Hangman and Mox wanting to just kill each other.
Right.
It just, whoo, brother.
I think that you had the two best guys for this match, this type of match. Mm-hmm. I also believe like we critique, which is I think is fair. AEW does a lot of bleeding. A lot of guys bleed in matches where you feel like you don't need it. This is one of those matches that requires bleeding.
Yeah.
It makes sense in this match, and it looked brutal. I'm excited to watch it.
Wardlow defeated Samoa Joe for the TNT title after Joe passes out in a submission. Whatever. Then it doesn't really, again, and then Wardlow's like car in real life got broken into.
The belt got stolen, his gear got stolen.
Lost Powerhouse Hobbs on Dynamite, which whatever, fine. Why wouldn't Wardlow have a run?
Here's the thing. I don't care that Hobbs is the TNT champion. I don't have any issue.
I like
with
Hobbs.
him. I like he's got the look. He's a jack dude. Like he's a threat. It's just what they do with this belt. Like, okay, why didn't you just have Samoa Joe win and then Hobbs beats him? Why do you have Wardlow win just to lose it 3 nights later? And I saw you tweet this. Tough luck for Wardlow. Gets all his shit stolen.
They couldn't have just had Wardlow win and like just come. What a tough break.
And like Hobbs wins that big ring, right? Wins.
Yeah.
Right? To me, that should be something that you don't cash in 3 nights later. Have him hold that till the next big event, and then that's when you have the match. Like I just don't understand the whole TNT Championship lot. A few people tweet. I'm excited to tweet. Like again, I'm fine with Hobbs winning. I don't like the whole flip flopping hot potato thing. People are like, AEW is treating this like the 24/7 belt in WWE. That, like, I hate the 24/7 belt was a travesty, and that was one of the worst things WWE's ever done. But, bro, it's just, why are you switching it so much? Why can't there be one person that holds the belt longer than 2 weeks?
It feels close to being as prestigious as it was when Cody held it, but then now, like, it feels like felt like it was getting back up there to that level, and then just now it's
each time Samoa Joe wins, I'm like, oh, this is it. Like, he's gonna go on a run, and then I don't get it. And Wardlow was supposed to be that guy. Like, he beat MJF, went on a super big run, won the belt, then what? I don't understand what they're doing with this belt, and I want it to make sense. I think, like, it could be a great mid-card belt, but it's like when you're changing hands once a month. How am I supposed to care about it? How am I supposed to take it seriously? You know?
Speaking of mid-card belts, just to sneak this one in here, there's no other place really for it. All-Atlantic Championship has been changed to the International Championship, or is going to be changed to the International Championship.
Less of a mouthful, I guess.
Yeah, sure, whatever, who cares?
That's fine, I guess.
I would be interested to see if they treat it more like... Because if the TNT title isn't going to fill this spot... If this international championship, not just because they sound the same, but if it becomes more like an intercontinental title, where it's like their real mid-card belt.
I'll tell you what, Orange Cassidy is like...
He's been great.
He's been great, and he's having a good run with the belt. Like, why can't they do that with the TNT Championship? I don't get it. Is that if that's what the point of the TNT Championship, to keep swapping? Sure. And also, the critique I have, the belt is being defended on TBS. Like, it's a TNT Championship.
I don't have a... This isn't part of my...
There's so much shit that just doesn't... Am I like picking at things here, being nitpicky? Maybe, but I don't know, dude. I'm just so turned off from the TNT belt. Like, defend it on Rampage. I don't know why it's on TBS. I don't know.
No, I don't want. No one watches Rampage.
But it would make sense. It would make sense. You're defending the TNT belt on TNT, not on TBS. And Jade Cargill is like
part of my gripe. You're alone. I know you're alone on this.
Jade Cargill is like the TBS champ, and she only defends it on Rampage on TNT. She's not even on Dynamite.
That is a good point. That's a good point.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm a little amped up. I'm almost drinking my coffee. The caffeine's hitting me. I'm all riled up.
The match that gave me the predictions win, the Guns defeated Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, the Acclaimed, Orange Cassidy and Danhausen to retain the AEW Tag Team Championships. Fun match, not much to say. The Guns win, whoop-de-doo, but the real important thing here is FTR returned, baby.
It's about damn time. Woo! It's about time.
FTR is back. Pretty clear they're going to go for the Guns and win, and cool. But love to see him back. That a really, really emotional and solid promo last night on Dynamite. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I honestly don't have much else to say about that match other than that was like the highlight of it. I mean, everyone looked good. I mean, the Guns look fine. Like, every time I see the Guns wrestle, I become less and less of a Guns hater, to be honest with you.
Yeah, fair. I think
whatever.
I was just kind of caught up in the fact that Acclaim lost more than the fact that the Guns won type of thing. But yeah, I mean, they're also very young, and they're probably, if they're gonna have the belts on them, let them have a solid reign and have FTR beat them.
And I hope the Guns get a good showing. I think they will, and I hope their FTR match is like great. Yeah. That would be great for the Guns if they pull out a 4 or 5 star match.
Even if they lose, I think.
Well, they will lose.
They will. But I'm saying, like, whether they win or lose, a solid match against FTR would do wonders.
I honestly wouldn't even be mad of them, like, their first match winning in a cheeky style.
Sure, yeah.
And then
the FTR
which I guess
gets their rematch.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'll be pissed if Jericho Appreciation Society wins.
Oh my God, dude. Could you? No, don't even get me started.
Okay. Huge match. MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, defeats the American Dragon, or the Dragon, wherever he goes by, Bryan Danielson, in what I put is maybe the greatest Iron Man match in wrestling history.
Wow.
Holy shit, was this match incredible from start to finish. Again, I'll read through some of the highlights. I want to call a couple beats that we want to talk about. My favorite part of the match, which this might have been like one of the highlights you've also seen. MJF is down 2-0. Mm-hmm. MJF is down 1-0. MJF low blows Danielson, gives Danielson a point, but then he pins him twice back to back because he knew just giving up that 1 point would allow him to tie it up.
Yep.
Holy shit!
So I thought that was, unbelievably clever, especially for a heel like him.
Oh my god!
So one thing I thought was interesting how AEW and WWE differentiate the Iron Man matches. So it was Cena Orton had an Iron Man match over a decade ago. This was like, I don't know why I'm recollecting this. Whenever they'd have an Iron Man match, someone gets a pinfall, there's like a 30-second grace period.
You have to like reset. Yeah.
So when he was doing that, I was like, oh, that's just out the door.
I like that. I
like it because it's cheeky. He puts himself down a point, but hey, roll up, pins him again. And then he tried pinning him one more time.
He did go for the third, which, yep. I think that was smart.
Super smart. Yeah, and then at that point, it was tied 2-2 and kept going.
Just real, obviously pacing in an hour match.
It's a 60-minute match. You gotta...
So, you start off slow. Did just an insane... And again, I want to keep reiterating the facts. I want it to be known as much of an on-camera and, truthfully, not a fan I am of Daniel Bryan.
Really? Really? That's shocking.
And I say it all the time, he's one of the greatest wrestlers to ever live. As I just put myself in that fan situation and just and hey, MJF put his hand out for the handshake. Danielson kicked it away. Who's the bad guy in this? I'm just saying.
Who's the bad guy in this situation? Just saying.
We're supposed to be rooting for that guy? Okay.
He kicks away a handshake. How dare you?
Okay.
Go to hell.
Whatever.
Go to hell, Daniel Bryan.
But just unbelievable pacing by the two of them. Knowing when to ramp it up and just get, I don't know, just amazing wrestling match. There's one other point I want to get to. We'll talk about it after. Tied score. Timer runs out. MJF taps after the timer. Doctors come out, which I loved this part. Doctors came out, gave them both oxygen. At this point, they're both bloody.
Yeah, they were bloody.
They're both bloody. They both look like they've been to fucking war.
You love to see that.
Tony Schiavone comes out, announces that this isn't ending in a tie. This is going to go to sudden death. Danielson is smiling. MJF is like, oh no, MJF hits him without the ref seeing, hits him with the oxygen tank.
Okay.
And MJF ends up tapping out Bryan Danielson with the label lock.
Oh, so his move. Daniel Bryan's. Yep. Okay, I gotcha. Interesting. Did he tap out or did he pass out?
Tapped.
Wow.
Which the story Danielson told, you saw his promo
I didn't watch it, but I saw that there was an emotional promo.
So he was basically like, which I thought this was really good for Danielson. Or even for the story in general, or for the match story, Danielson had the promo, or the vignette, whatever you want to call it, and said, the reason I tapped is because I realized I couldn't feel my arms. And after I got up, I could barely feel my left knee or whatever. And he basically said all that stuff that MJF was saying about
family,
you're selfish. Do you want to be able to play with your kids or whatever? That was proven true in Danielson's mind. So Daniel said, I tapped because I was thinking of my kids and I wanted to be there for my kids. Wow. And then at the end of that promo, he said, I'm going home.
Yeah, wow. That's insane.
Isn't that
I'm gonna watch that after.
Holy shit.
That's really
and just
storytelling.
It just really gave to the fact that's why he tapped.
Another bump to MJF too.
Right, exactly.
Calling it,
exactly.
I mean? Damn. That's good stuff.
Right unbelievable match. Holy. It's an hour. If you got an hour.
No, I will. I'll watch it.
Holy
for sure.
Shit.
I got a few matches I got to watch.
The one thing before I just want start gassing up the match more. There was a moment in the match where MJF is out in the crowd and
I know what you're.
He basically throws some water on some kid.
I think it was alcohol. That's
was alcohol?
People making a big deal.
Oh, I thought it was water.
I think it was alcohol.
I heard water. It might have been alcohol. Either way,
I'll fact check.
Either way, throws some sort of drink on the kid. He wasn't a plant. That was real. The kid was crying, and the kid did. Which people
it was water.
It was water.
Okay. I thought it was alcohol.
People are defending it by saying attitude era, and what are you, soft? And they're saying, well, the kid got to go backstage and meet his favorite wrestlers.
Did he?
And the kid,
Yeah.
Which was like good to try to make up for it, but that doesn't, I don't think I'm a fan.
Okay.
I don't think that should have happened. I think MJF he got carried away. I think he got caught in the moment,
Sure.
which I think you can tell happens to him a lot of just like, because he's almost a method acting.
Sure.
You know, where like you even see it like
he stays in character. Man.
that's what I mean. And like you hear stories of him like at signings, or if you just see him out in public or whatever, he's in that MJF character.
Yeah,
he is
100%.
MJF. He's gonna call you a dickhead.
He lives
he's
and dies by the character.
Right.
Yeah.
I think in the moment, which again, at the end of the day, I guess it does play up to heat and does play up to like him being a dickhead, but I think he might have gotten a little carried away, and I don't know if he needed to throw water in the kid's face.
I think it would have been better if it was like an adult or something like that. Like because if it's an adult, it's kind of more like you kind of
100%.
You understand it more. Like like that kid probably doesn't. He doesn't have. How can I explain this?
He doesn't know it's a.
He doesn't know it's a show. I mean, maybe he knows it's like scripted and stuff. He doesn't know it's a show. Like if he did that to me, I'd be like, that's fucking.
I would
sick.
have been hyped.
You know, that's cool. I'm a part of the show.
Yeah.
But you're a little kid. Like you're there to enjoy it, watch it, and like when that happens, like especially if it's not planned, you don't expect it. Yeah, it's tough when you do it to a kid.
I think if he want to do something to interact with the kid, just you know,
like scream
just
at
tell him shut up, or like something, right?
Yeah,
like something like that.
I still agree that it was a little too much.
Yeah.
Knowing that it was water and not alcohol makes me step back because I thought he threw like a thing of vodka at him. Because then I'm just like, okay, that's too much. Whether it's planned or not, that's too much. Water makes me think it's like, okay, it's not as bad, but it's still like he didn't need to do that.
Yeah, like I said,
I know they took him backstage and did that and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
which people
they made it right.
That's the thing. They made it right, but
it still wasn't right to do it.
That didn't, because like a lot of people are saying like, oh, stop whining. The kid got to meet his favorite wrestler. That doesn't make it okay. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't think it's a huge deal. It's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. I just think it was a mistake.
It's a mistake. It's a learning.
It's a learning thing. They amended it. You know,
I'm sure backstage Tony and MJF had a conversation.
Sure,
I'm sure that they got that settled away. I mean, that's who he is. That's his character.
Yeah.
And again, he got carried away, but that's the shit that he's been doing for the last 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, there is, and granted, there is a part of it where like maybe the parents. I'm not necessarily saying that I believe this. I'm just saying it's to be said of. If you're a parent or anyone, you're buying a front row ticket to a wrestling show, especially AEW, it might even be in like the description of like, hey, you might get some interaction.
Right.
Granted,
that's not the interaction you're thinking of.
Still doesn't mean that it was right.
I mean, as a parent too, like as a parent, I'm not a parent, but like being in that parent's position, like you just saw your kid get like something thrown on them. I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed. Yeah. I would have been upset. Especially you have a younger kid, especially if the kid was crying all upset. Like,
right.
That sucks. That really does. But I didn't really at first think that was a big deal. But like after hearing people talk, I understand like why it should be frowned upon. And again,
if it's anyone, like even like anyone over the age of like 14 or whatever,
like
you know
I said,
what I mean?
If
like,
that happened to me, I would have been like.
And granted, like again, I'm not talking about this specifically about the kid situation, but like the amount of water didn't seem like a lot.
That watching back the video, it seemed like it was like a.
Yeah, so like granted, I still my position still stands with the kid, but like if it was like with an adult or with a teenager or something like that, especially with the amount of water it was,
right?
Hey, whatever.
I think R-Truth, I think he did something like that when he was on his heel run. He here we go. Pours water on fans' face. Granted, this was probably scripted because it's WWE. I don't know if it's going to load. But John Cena and R-Truth were in a feud. I think it was a pay-per-view. And
Sounds
he was
familiar.
wearing a Cena shirt, and he took the water up and just kind of poured it on him. I think it was scripted because, like, after
WWE have plants like that,
and plus WWE's PG and stuff. But like we've seen stuff like that happen past. Granted, that also was a grown man that he did that too,
right?
So it's different. But
right,
again, I think it's a learning thing.
Get the grown man a free change a T-shirt at the merch booth and everything's all fine.
Yeah, I mean, again, if that shit happened to me, whether it was R-Truth, MJF, I would have been fine.
Whoa!
That's his water! Let's go! But yeah, it is what it is.
But other than, I mean, I don't want that moment to overshadow how insane of a match it was. Again, if anyone out there hasn't seen it, if maybe you're on the fence about MJF or even Danielson or AEW, oh my God, if you're looking for a wrestling match, whoo, goodness gracious.
Now I'm curious who his next opponent's going to be.
Yeah, they haven't really. I think he's going to be on Dynamite next week. I think they're advertising. So I'm sure they'll start up something. But to close out the show, who would you like to see him face next?
I would like to see him face someone that maybe isn't like a main event star. Like, I don't want him to face an Omega.
I want someone fresh.
Moxley. I would say Hangman, but if he's doing a feud with Juice did you say Juice Robinson?
Ricky is with Juice.
Ricky. Okay, so all right, so not
Hangman
Ricky
and Mox are kind of tied together. I think
they're 2-2 now, so they might have a one more. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want it to be someone like that. I want it to be like an Eddie Kingston, or like a
can't be Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston quit for ROH.
Not Eddie Kingston. You're right.
Off the top of my head, it's hard. I shouldn't have put you on the spot. I did put you on the spot.
No, it's tough. I'm trying to think of like a mid-carder, someone that
pull up the roster.
Maybe like a Jack Perry, maybe Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
I would like
cool.
that. I would like that. Let's see. Adam Cole. Adam Cole.
But I would like them to hold off on that because I think Adam Cole could be someone that potentially beats him. So I don't know if I want to rush that right away.
Fair.
But he could.
Plus, I think Adam Cole, he needs to come back a little bit.
I don't even think is he even cleared now. He hasn't even wrestled.
He might not even be cleared.
Maybe Andrade comes back. No, not him.
Let's see. Bandito. I like Bandito.
If they want to give him like some like title defenses on TV, maybe. Malachi Black, maybe you could give him a shot. Claudio would be a great match.
I would love to see Claudio
still on the roster.
CM Punk's
still on the roster.
I know they
didn't take him off.
Granted, they cleared his. Oh, that's 2023, right? Huh. He is still on the roster.
So, there's...
there is the CM Punk return possibility. First person that came to my mind was Claudio, to be honest with you. I would have loved to see
Darby
Claudio.
Allin could be a nice one. I know they've had a feud in the past.
Daniel Garcia would have been nice if they kept up with them.
Cool. Hook, Jack Perry. Jeff Hardy. Yeah.
Damn, Jeff is still on the roster.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Keith Lee maybe could be a cool one.
Takeshita.
Kyle
O'Reilly still on the roster. They have not updated
Mark Henry.
Honestly, there's not too many names jumping out. There really aren't too many names jumping out.
Mr. Brody Lee is still on the roster list.
I could see Pat.
Pat would be a good one.
That could be a good one. Here's my vote. Penta's my vote. Penta or Ray Phoenix. 100%.
That's fair.
I would love that. Penta versus MJF. I think that's on record who I want the next feud to be. I want Penta because the Lucha Bros aren't really doing much.
Sammy Guevara could be a cool one too. He's never had a championship run.
Samoa Joe. Now he lost TNT title.
Yeah, that could be dope too. Sting.
Swerve would be cool. Swerve's a good one. I like
Wardlow.
Swerve.
Maybe they revisit that. Maybe. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think
no one that really pops out as the next one, to be honest. But yeah. I think mine would probably be Penta because we haven't seen a real singles run. I mean, like his singles run in like Lucha Underground and like I get, I'm sure he's had like a big run in New Japan. Like I would love to see Penta get that singles run, or even Ray Phoenix to get that. Either one of them.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna settle with like a mid Carter, someone that
Claudio would be great. I would love
Claudio would be cool. I'll just for the sake of answering, I'll say Darby Allin.
Darby would be cool.
I'll just say Darby
would be
for
cool.
the sake of it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens next Wednesday.
And brother, that is the longest episode of Stache Club Wrestling.
I have to pee so bad. Oh my god.
It's gonna be a little cut down, but over an hour 45.
You're welcome.
Let's make it 2.
You know what? We have more stuff to talk about. Yeah.
But yeah, we had a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about.
Thank you guys for watching. Please catch up on all the latest quiz episodes and all of that stuff. We are closing in. We have, at the time of recording this, we have 43,559 subscribers. I mean, cleared 40, easy.
Yeah,
Coming in on 50.
It was like yesterday we surpassed the old subscriber count.
And we are like well past the old subscriber count now, brother.
Yeah. We love you guys so much.
Over 3 million total channel views.
Ain't too shabby.
TikTok's close at 67,000, something like that.
I think the Instagram just hit over 2,000.
Yeah, I like the Instagram and Twitter. Weirdly have a lot of followers.
Hey, follow our Stache Club W. Follow us.
Follow Stache Club W on Instagram, Twitter, and all of that. You can follow me at Raspy Taylor on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify.
You can follow me on Twitter at Dante on Deck, and then Dante Toro or Dante Toro 11 everywhere else.
Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far,
I hope you guys did.
If you made it this far, leave a comment saying, what should they say? Just so we know.
What was your favorite?
No, we got to give them like a phrase to say so we know that, you know what I mean?
They stayed till the end.
I made it this far. I made it to the, no, I don't know. Did we say anything like funny during this? Come on,
pressure.
We're bad at improv. Clearly,
just say something about this lunchbox. No, we said that. We mentioned that earlier with the Money in the Bank.
It gotta be something just like outlandish. Say, Duncan was good today. Duncan looked good today.
Duncan was good today.
If you made it this far, put Duncan.
The coffee was kind of hidden behind the box, the lunch box here. So we'll do that. Duncan was good today. If you watch till the end, put that in the comments.
Sophie's blowing up my phone. We're gonna record some quizzes. That has been an episode of Stache Club Wrestling. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Oh fuck, didn't say it. Presented by ClutchPoints. Be in the corner. Sorry. One for the road to get us out of here.
And we'll see you guys next time.